Welcome to Streams of Income, hosted by best-selling author and entrepreneur Dr. David Powers, where we discuss streams of income, passive income, residual income, and even why there are dinosaurs and zombies in this intro. Fasten your seatbelts and get ready to dive in.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Streams of Income podcast. This episode, I want to focus on email marketing. And so I pulled up this really neat newsletter here that I received the other day from one of my email marketing providers. And I won't tell you which one. I will put some links in the show notes though, and mainly because I run a lot of streams of income, and some of them I partner with other people, and I may not have been the one that created it. And so it was already on another email marketing platform, we'll say. And so there's a bunch of them out there. ConvertKit, which is now called Kit. They changed their name, shortened their name. You've got MailChimp, you've got Infusionsoft. You can run email marketing through ClickFunnels, Kajabi. I mean, there's tons of them out there. I'll put some links in the show notes for a couple of them that I use. And here's one of the reasons I know I could consolidate some of these other streams of income into a single email marketing campaign, but I don't want to do that. I like experimenting with the different ones, and that way when I have clients who use different ones, I'm a little bit knowledgeable about that. What I want to talk about today, though, is an article that came to me about how to make money with email marketing. And so they've got some neat ideas here that I wanted to go over with you. And if you're watching the video version on YouTube of the podcast, and I'm not looking at you, it's because I'm looking at this website so I can give you some of these tips. So let's see. Here's an interesting part. How much money does email marketing make? So it says here creators earn anywhere from a few $100s to several $1,000s from email marketing alone. I got an email the other day from Kevin Rose from his email newsletter, and he had actually referenced, I think he makes about, what was it, 150,000? You know, if Kevin Rose ever hears this, and by the way, Kev, if you are listening to my podcast, man, I'm extremely thankful. Been following you and Tim Ferriss both for a long time. Love those random show episodes. But I think he makes about 150K on some of his newsletters because he was talking about raising money from the newsletter to donate to a medical research study. And so you can make a lot of money off your email marketing, whether it's a paid newsletter or other ways, which we're going to talk about. Let's see. This article references a guy, an artist, Danny Gregory, who makes up to $45,000 from his paid newsletter. And it doesn't say in the article how much that is. But, oh man, look here. I'm going to have to put a link to this article in the show notes too, because there is a free potential revenue calculator here that you can use, and you can enter in your email list, and you can enter in things like that, and it'll actually calculate the potential revenue you can make from your newsletter. And so that's pretty cool. I'm going to put the link in here so you guys can access that, and hopefully whenever you're seeing this podcast, hearing this podcast, that calculator will still be there. If you hear any random strange noises in the background, I am in my home office, the walkout basement, and I got kids all over the farm here doing farm stuff. I've got one of my kids just came in shirtless from doing, I don't know what he was doing. Let's don't worry about it. He'll distract us. All right, so 11 ideas for newbies and pros to monetize their email list. Let's go down this list here. All right, number one, add a tip jar for your free content. That's pretty cool because I like giving away a ton of free stuff. I mean, this podcast, you don't pay to listen to this podcast or watch it on YouTube. I do monetize it in other ways, a lot of which will be on this list that we're going to go over. But it's free content. I'm giving this away free. I have an email newsletter, which you need to sign up for, that I also give away free. I do a ton of social media content, a lot of which is the same level of information you'd get from paid content from other people. Excuse me, they're drinking an energy drink, and it's the gas bubbles are trying to come back up. That's why we do this unedited, so you get to enjoy all that. It's for free. But you could add a tip jar to your email marketing. And, I usually like the ones like, let's see, I see a lot of these on certain newsletters that I follow. And some of them are like, if you like this content, leave me a tip. I usually don't click on that. I've seen the ones, here's the ones I like. If you'd like to buy me a cup of coffee, leave me, leave me a tip, however they word it. But I am all for buying somebody a cup of coffee. That's what I like doing when I'm having meetings with clients. Either I'll buy them coffee, they'll buy me coffee. It usually depends on who got there first. But a free cup of coffee, not a free, but just buying somebody a cup of coffee, I can get behind that. I was actually doing some work with tacticaljunkie.com. I think that's the website. They make patches. They make custom patches and tons of other patches. I was doing some work with them the other day and was talking to their folks. And they had a thing on there about leaving a tip for the person that worked on your order. And I told them here's my suggestion that they needed to add, and it fits into tip number one for the tip jar for your free content. I said, I love getting to know the people that are working on my orders. And that's one thing that Tactical Junkie has been really, really good at, because I've had them make patches for me, and they would actually send me little short videos of my patch being made in the sewing machine. And I thought that was pretty cool, because nobody that I've ordered stuff like that from has ever done that for me. And they'll send emails out, and some of them have little personal things, like from the customer service rep that sends the email. And I told them, what you need to do is have a tip jar that helps us get to know the people at the company. And so let's say, if Bethany, who helped fill your order, is wanting to get a new tattoo, put that in there. And like at the bottom, just have a little thing like, throw Bethany a few bucks to help her pay for her new tattoo. And I got to be honest with you, I'd be way more, I'd do that a lot easier than I would a tip jar. So it's still a tip jar, word it different. That's my advice. All right, number 2, make money promoting affiliate links. Now, affiliate marketing has been around for a very long time. It should always be in everything you do as a basis of what you do. There's a lot of things out there where people are saying make full-time income off of affiliate marketing. That works if you have a gazillion followers. Like if you're like Kevin Rose or Tim Ferriss or James Clear that wrote Atomic Habits, if you're like those guys and your email list is in the gazillions, you can mention something, and every email you send out is going to make you thousands of dollars off of affiliate links. Most of us, and most of you, many of you, are not going to be that way, but you can make a few bucks that way. I like to look at affiliate marketing because I don't want to do it full time. I don't want to do full-time affiliate marketing because I want to market my stuff. But if I recommend something, I will use affiliate links and make a few extra dollars off of that. I consider that almost passive income, or near passive income, or passive adjacent income. It's easy to do. I pop it in there and I can make income without really having to think about it. For instance, one of my streams of income is Prepared Dad at prepareddad.com. And I talk about prepping and dads being ready for emergencies. And I'm not talking about the nutbag doomsday preppers, although some of y'all might think I am if you were to see my compound. But, and you're welcome to come stay at the compound. I've got a haunted barn that I've got some tent sites in, so streams of income all over the place. But when I recommend gear, I use the affiliate links for that. So very seldom will I recommend gear and not give you a link for that. Number one, I want to send you to the right gear. Number two, if I'm going to send you to the right gear and I can make a few pennies or a few bucks off of it, why not? And so drop those affiliate links everywhere. Just be careful. Amazon affiliate, that's the most common one. Amazon Associates, I think it's called now. They'll change the name by the time you hear this probably. But there are rules. And if you don't follow the rules, they kick you off. And then you end up with a whole library of things that are recommending their products that you don't want to go back and change, and they'll make money and you don't make anything. So follow the rules. Follow the rules, folks. Number 3, increase your profit with a paid newsletter. That's an easy one. One of the things I recommend, though, is I like to have a free content newsletter, and I don't currently have a paid newsletter. If I were to do that, I would still have a free one, and the paid one would just be beefed up even more, and that kind of a thing. So that's number 3, increase profit with a paid newsletter. A lot of people make a lot of money off of that, and there's actually a couple of newsletters I follow, and I only follow them because I like the people behind them, but it kind of irritates me how they do the paid newsletter. But let's see, Warrior Poet Society is one of these. Let's see, what's his name? Not Kevin Rose that I've mentioned a couple times. He does this tactic as well, where you get the free newsletter and you start watching the video that's their video that it links to from the newsletter. But at some point in the video, it says, hey, if you'd like to access the rest of this interview, or if you'd like the rest of this gear list, whip on over to the membership and get the paid newsletter where you'll get access to the entire video and the rest of this interview that you've already gotten very interested in. And so I don't necessarily like that tactic because I do get interested in it, but not enough that I'm willing to pay for it. And so I go into it knowing that I glean what I can from the free stuff. And maybe at some point, if something is important enough to me, I'll do the paid one. But that is a tactic. Just be careful, though. You're liable to, it's possible to alienate or make your followers mad with that kind of thing. So just be careful. All right, number 4, recommend other great newsletters and get paid for it. That's a good strategy with, I don't know, maybe a couple of caveats. I'm not sure I like this one because, number 1, it's basically affiliate marketing. So it's the same as number 2. But unless the newsletter is in a different industry or a different niche, I'm not sure I want to be recommending other great newsletters because I'm definitely not going to recommend any that compete directly with me. I'm not interested in doing that. I'd rather, if they're going to leave me for that reason, I'd rather they just find it on their own. But so that is a strategy on this list, though. All right, number 5. Offer other types of subscriptions to gain recurring income. I love number 5, and it's a core piece of my strategy. I am in a mastermind group called Membership Freedom. It's run by Vincent Puglisi, and I dare you to try spelling his name correctly without looking him up. But it's run by Vincent Puglisi, and it's called Membership Freedom. I'll put a link to that in the show notes. Just know that if you try to join this membership, you've got to qualify. Vincent is very tight on who gets into this membership, and he makes sure that the people that do get in, that it doesn't get overloaded with just a bunch of people who are willing to throw money at him, but he makes sure that it's full of people who are interesting, who aren't abrasive, who actually do want to learn, and who also contribute to the group. And so this group he runs, though, is all about recurring income through memberships, and it's amazing. And I'm learning so much. I mean, I learned, I can't even go into all the great things that the group and the classes and everything have done for me. And he does a weekly Zoom call, and that's where I glean so much knowledge. And he brings in some amazing experts like John Miller, who wrote QBQ, the guy that wrote Black Sheep. I swear, I can't remember your name, dude, but the guy that wrote Black Sheep was on there the other day, and I bought that book and read it immediately after. But Vincent teaches a strategy where you can offer various types of membership levels to get recurring income. And recurring income is absolutely amazing. It's basically the same thing as passive because it just comes to you regularly without you having to seek it over and over. And so it's pretty cool. So number 5, I highly, you put a star by number 5. If you're making a list, and making notes from this podcast, put a star by number 5. That's going to help you out so much. All right. Add revenue with an email course. Number 6. I like number 6 too. It's another one I do. For instance, in Prepared Dad, one of the email courses I have there is about how to build your own bug out bag. And so it's a 30-day email drip course. So basically, when you sign up for this course, I think my course is $49. I change the price every now and then when I add or modify it. I think right now it's $49, and it's a 30-day drip course. So every day you get an email. The reason I did it like that is because it can get overwhelming. A lot of things about prepping can be overwhelming very quickly. That's why I always recommend that people don't just Google search something about prepping, because you'll get 10 million different opinions on one topic. And so I have this email course within my prepping thing, and it adds revenue. It's a great way to bring in some revenue. And here's the great thing is once people sign up for it, they pay, and I usually send them a personal email, welcoming them, telling them, ask questions, that kind of thing. Message me back with any suggestions, or let me know how you're doing. Send me pictures of you using your prepping gear, teaching your kids how to tie tourniquets, fun stuff like that. And so other than that, though, they just get the emails. for the next 30 days. And it's pretty cool. I love number 6. All right, number 7, add an income stream displaying newsletter ads. That's definitely a way to monetize it, but I don't like that one. I tend to not like the ads. And here on the podcast, you'll notice there's no ads right now. I don't know if I'll do that someday because I don't know if it's not done well. I really hate it. Like Ben Greenfield Life podcast. I love Ben, so this is no shade on him. But anytime I pull up one of his podcasts, I know that there's like 4 minutes of advertisements at the beginning of the podcast. And I generally just keep tapping that 30-second, fast forward button on my phone when I'm trying to listen to one of his podcasts, because I just get tired of the ads, and they're usually the same over and over and over. Tim Ferriss does the same thing, a bunch of ads at the front end of the podcast. And so if you want to do that, though, and your audience will support it, go for it. It is one way to do it. So just not one that I like personally. All right, number 8, champion your products and services. Did that in my movie trailer voice. And so that's something you just got to be careful how you do it. But, I mean, you're sending out a free newsletter, possibly a paid one if you're doing that. But you're sending out a free newsletter. Why not talk about what you're doing? You have to be careful how you do it. I like to, and y'all can let me know if I'm doing this or not. I try not to sound so salesy, like, hey, here's my email newsletter for this month, buy this and this and this. I try to tell it within a story. And so the other day I was talking about tourniquets, and within the tourniquet article that I wrote and sent out to my list, my prepared list, not my business list, but on the prepared list. And by the way, I'll put the link to that. I'm talking, you know what? This is how good I am. I didn't even think about it, but I've been talking about one of my streams of income a bunch during this podcast. I'm using my own stream of income as an example. I promise I didn't do that on purpose, but it fits with number 8. So yeah, weave it in the story. Weave it in the stories. And so number 9, don't shy away from upsells. That's a good one. That's a good one because, like I told you, like Vincent teaches us with the different membership models and levels, you can upsell people. Like me with some of my stuff, I have basic versions. Like with streams of income here, I have a basic, like book me for a brainstorming session for $99, and that's just like a one-time. Give me a topic, give me a product, tell me something a problem you're trying to get past or something. We'll brainstorm it, and that's just the intro thing. The upsell, which I'll mention at the end, is hey, if you want to book me for regular coaching, we can do that. If you want me for in-person coaching, we can do that. So don't be afraid of that. If they like your service and you did them good, like you give them more than they thought, you over-delivered. Don't shy away from giving them the opportunity to experience more of that over-delivery. So upsell. No matter what you're doing, don't be afraid of the upsells. Number 10, unlock the earning potential of downselling. Yeah, that's a good one too, because upsells are great. You make more money, you get to spend more time with the client, but the downsell, like most of what I do, the downsell is not the personalized coaching, things like that. It's the DIY coaching. So if I can send you to a book I wrote or recommend a book somebody else wrote, that's a downsell. Because I could recommend a book somebody else wrote as an expert on a topic that maybe I'm not the best person for, and that's a downsell that I'll make some affiliate income off of. And so that's a great thing to do. So don't forget the downsell. All right, number 11, get sponsored by brands that love your work. Now that is something I have always wanted to do, and on my I wish I'd gotten it out. I've got an income stream mind map that I put together, and it's got all the income streams that I currently do marked on there, but also I have some income streams on there with squiggly lines because they're not currently producing income. They're future income streams, and number 11 is one that I've always wanted to do. I have early on in my career, with some of the things I did, mountain climbing, scuba diving, adventure sports, things like that. The key income stream in that a lot of times is sponsorships by major brands or sometimes sponsorships by a bunch of minor brands until you work your way up. So for me, I've always thought like, North Face or REI or something like that, getting sponsored by a huge, massive brand that would provide me with gear and equipment and pay for trips for me to wear their gear and equipment on. That's what I've always wanted. And so number 11 is a dream of mine that is not realized right now. But man, if you can get there, I actually ran into some friends the other day. Me and my daughter were at an outdoor event, and I used to be sponsored by Mountain Khakis. They would pay me to do photo shoots and things like that. And in addition to the stipend, they would give me a certain amount of money every month for clothing. So they would give me, basically a gift card every month, and I would just hop on their website and order clothing. And I've got tons and tons of Mountain Khakis, coats and pants and shirts and belts and everything. And my kids are wearing Mountain Khakis stuff. And now that we're moving into winter here where I'm at, my kids have already broken out their Mountain Khakis fleece coats and things. And so, but they ended that program. And so I lost that sponsorship. But I ran into some friends at an outdoor festival the other day that used to be in the program as well. And we knew each other through that. And they were doing a fishing expo for Bass Pro Shops. And guess why they were there? That's right. Bass Pro Shops was sponsoring them. That is a huge sponsor. And so Bass would pay them to go on trips and just wear their gear, and they provide them with all the fishing stuff, and they pay them to do little fishing clinics and stuff like that. It's pretty amazing. So number 11 is an amazing way to monetize that. And we're talking newsletters, though. That was, the adventure sports side of life. With the newsletters, though, you're basically just getting a brand to sponsor your newsletter. Like I was listening to a John Lee Dumas podcast the other day in HubSpot. I guess he's on the HubSpot network, but that's basically a sponsor. Joe Rogan is on Spotify. That's kind of like this. But just get sponsored by brands that love your work. Now, let me scan down through this. All right. So there's a bunch of this newsletter that was unlocking additional info on each one of those. Let me skip down to some of these other tips, though. Let's see. All right. Add revenue of the email course. So like I said, I'm going to put in the show notes the link to this. But there is some amazing content here. And let's see, I'm looking at the calculator here also that they're showing some examples. They've got some amazing examples also with links to those. Oh, you know what? That's a really neat way to monetize there is these people that are being mentioned in the links here on this email it's basically like a sponsorship. I mean, if you click on that to check out what they're doing, you're liable to sign up for their newsletter. Next thing you know, you're liable to provide them with other income in other ways. And so that's pretty cool. Let's see. Oh, you know what? That's the end of the email. All right. Okay, so the rest of this email newsletter that I got is, that's cool. They're using their own tactic because the last part of this email newsletter is recommending upsells to their membership, to their email newsletter system. And also, you know what? I'm just going to go and tell you. This is from kit.com. So it used to be ConvertKit. I was going to keep it a secret because I didn't want to push you to one email service over another. But I'll be honest with you. I use MailChimp. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and spill the beans now. You probably wished I'd done that in the beginning. I probably should have. So I use MailChimp for most of my business email newsletters. And I also have quite a few of my clients that I manage their email newsletters through MailChimp as well. And so, happy, not happy, it works. I'm used to it. I've been using it for a long time. Now, there's another income stream that uses ConvertKit that's how I got hooked in with ConvertKit. And I got to be honest with you, even if you don't use ConvertKit, I think you should go to ConvertKit and sign up for their free email newsletter, because at the end of every one of their newsletters is a pitch to sign up with ConvertKit, and you might be interested in that, but the information they give before the pitch is amazing. They provide so much useful content that it's worth it, even if you're not going to sign up with them. So I highly recommend it. I've got another client that uses Go High Level. Go High Level, I don't know, it seemed like they came out of nowhere to try to take some of the business away from Kajabi and ClickFunnels. And so, but I've been using their system for another client that I help manage. And so I don't know, it doesn't seem kind of like ClickFunnels. Their email delivery system is very basic because it's an add-on into a bigger thing. Personally, that's one of the reasons I like MailChimp. Plus, they focus on the email marketing. Kit does the same thing. So personally, I like having different companies to do different parts of my stuff, even if it costs me a little more money. I feel like I get more functionality out of that. And so, if you want to save some money on a budget, you could always go with ClickFunnels or Kajabi, something like that, and work through their email marketing systems. Just don't expect it to be as robust. Don't expect your emails to look as cool. There aren't as many, designs and options and things like that. And so I hope this podcast has helped you. I'm just changing my screen around a little bit here so that I can see myself again. And so, like I say, I hope this has helped you. If you don't have an email list running, still, email is one of the best ways to market because it's really cheap or free. You completely control it. So keep those emails. Don't just put your emails into the system you use. Keep that list somewhere else as well, because that way you control it. If that system goes down, you get kicked off, you get booted for some reason, you can still have all those emails available to you. Go to another system, send emails a different way, whatever. But social media marketing, things like that, you don't control it as well. I've got some streams of income where they basically prohibit you from trying to get emails from people. Like on Fiverr, I do a lot of work through Fiverr with my own UGC videos and for other clients. And if you start asking for emails and websites and things like that, they get mad. They'll boot you off of there. I've been warned several times just because I typed the wrong things in. And they're like, hey, don't be asking for personal information. eBay is the same way. You can message people, but they don't like you asking. Amazon, definitely. If you sell things on Amazon, you never meet the customer, so to speak, digitally or in person, obviously. But so find ways to market that you can control. I hope this helped you. If you're not running an email newsletter yet, maybe I'm hoping this will actually make you make that decision, make the change and do it. Feel free to get in touch with me anytime. Like I said before, if you want to book me for a little short brainstorming session about how to set up your email provider and what kind of stuff you can send out, you're welcome to get in touch with me anytime. Send me a message, whatever you need. And, we could work together, or maybe I can send you to somebody else that's an expert in your industry, that kind of thing. And if you notice, did you notice how easily I wove that $99 brainstorming session back into the podcast there? So that's how you monetize things like this. So, this podcast and email newsletter, they kind of run the same way. They're just different formats. And so I hope you guys have an awesome, amazing day or evening, depending on when you're listening to this. And if, one of the things I fail to mention a lot of times also is, if you have any ideas for topics that you want me to cover or experts that you want me to try to bring on to the podcast here, and send that in as well. Even better, if you want to be on the podcast, get in touch. We'll talk. I just want to make sure that you'll be the right fit for the podcast, that you don't cuss as much as David Goggins, or weird things going on. Just whatever. Just get in touch and we'll get you set up to be on the podcast. I think that would be pretty awesome because I love meeting my listeners. And y'all take care. Oh, I know. I promised that was the end. But one last thing, and maybe this can benefit you as well. If you have any suggestions for someone you'd like to see on the podcast, feel free to send me their information or just their name. And if I like the idea, I'll try to look them up myself. But any suggestions, no matter how crazy, no matter how, well, especially if it's cool, well, crazy also, just send me your suggestions. And also, if you want to be on the podcast, get in touch with me. My email, all my contact info is in the show notes. Also, if you don't want to look at the show notes, or you're in your car, maybe you shouldn't look at the show notes while you're driving. It's redteamgoals.com. You can get all my links and everything else there. So let me know your suggestions and tell me more about yourself if you'd like to be on the podcast as well. Thanks again for listening.